Wi-Fi together, baby. Here we go again. You ready? Six Packs Dice in the building, baby. What's going on with you? Hold on, man. I ain't got my speaker left it downstairs, and I'm almost 40, and I'm too old to be going downstairs. I'm on the third floor. It's very far from me. It's actually pretty late at night. You already know how I usually do, man. I'll be taking naps at random times. Once I lay down, I ain't coming back, baby. Shout out to Tommy Black, Mafia Lord. Hope y'all good out there, man. My name is Six Packs Dice, Mr. Lane. If you need me, welcome to the channel. It's your first time here. Please subscribe to the channel. So, I may have to break this down over the course of some days, man, because it's an hour-long interview. Kanye West just put out an explosive interview. I'm not even sure how much of this I can react to because he says the F word a lot, the FAG word a lot. Okay. Now, it doesn't really actually mean people from the L Gibbons community, but I ain't gonna lie, man, shit is crazy. So recently, Kanye West at Akademiks had not a sit down, they had a stand up, you know what I mean? But Kanye put on this outfit, and I felt like it wouldn't be good to jump around. We may have to just go ahead and play this drawing, and we're gonna go ahead and just react to it, man. So I'm gonna basically start. I guess we could go ahead and start right here. This is after he puts on his outfit. It's a leather outfit. It's the inspo is from his old song Black Skinhead years and years ago, and back in 2013. And he has a really interesting reasoning for wearing this outfit, you know. But I want to go ahead and play the video. But actually, no, I'm sorry. Before we even get that far, let's go ahead and get some context to what's going on here. So I don't want to. It's because some of his opinions are more provocative, and some of them maybe lean more towards how I feel about certain things. I don't want us to overlook what we're looking at. Okay, so when I'm hearing Kanye communicate, okay, especially when he starts getting excited, and maybe you'll see it too, you can hear the manic conversation. You can hear the scattered thoughts. You can hear that. Okay, something going on with you. You know what I'm saying? You're starting to sound a little crazy. I mean, and when I say that, I'm talking about the pace and how he's expressing himself at certain points. Because to a certain degree, a lot of what he's saying sounds like it's supposed to be true. Because he starts getting into what's really going on in the industry, right? But at the same time, you got to realize these people are in show business. You never know when someone's selling an album. You know what I'm saying? You never know when someone's just doing their job. You understand? I think that's really interesting, right? But I wanted to point out the mental health aspect because as human beings, right, in our daily lives, we come across people who are very difficult or erratic, and what can happen is, for the most part, you'll get caught up in their mess. You'll get caught up in where they are emotionally, and because you're taking what they're saying serious, because you are normal. All right, you have empathy and you have compassion, right? And you know, so I just wanted to kind of maybe point that out because to a certain degree, people like this can be very manipulative because they're able to communicate with more emotion. All right, with a certain level of again, it's the expression, certain level of seriousness that they're able to come with. You know what I mean? Which will, again, to the human mind, whenever people seem serious or emotional, you tend to feel, all right, well, I didn't listen to them, or because in your mind you're thinking logical. And it's always important to realize when you thinking logical and you trying to be understanding, and the other person is just on some other shit. All right. So it's late, man. I know I ain't got the most energy, but you know, it's gonna be kind of tough. Next couple of weeks and whatnot, I'm probably giving y'all more content from the car. I'm gonna be working a lot and whatnot, but you know, we'll still make it do what it do. I'm gonna still try to give y'all, even if it's a 40-minute show, every day, to make sure that we keep the content going, baby. So I just got done my battle. Shout out to Don F. Skizzy. So I'm gonna be back, you know, to being more regular. Somewhat, because I still got a battle on 26 at Trap, New York. Shout out to the Trap. You feel me? So anyway, let's get it.
What money is going to get you over? Is this the right thing? of my youngest.
Fair use.
Wait a second. Is it-
So I'm gonna stop right here. So this is the point in which a manic person will start making a lot of sense, and he does make a lot of sense right here. You know what I mean? And again, he's not wrong. So what he's talking about is he's speaking on. So his daughter Northwest, you know, I believe either she was on the Cardi because he's been speaking a lot about the fact that he was taking off this Playboy Cardi album, and that's the part we want to get to that in his comments on Kendrick, in his comments on Drake and Diddy, but I just didn't want to speed through the interview. But I wanted to point this out because again, I'm not saying that he's necessarily doing this, but you'll find for people who are mad that they're again, they'll use a little bit of logic. They'll say things that sound kind of true, that sound like, I mean, because you got to realize this person is telling a story in a way to get you on their side. Okay. So let's go ahead and keep going.
oh,
The gribble combo nigga is crazy. Let's go ahead and get into that. That's what I'm talking about. Like, yo, it would take forever to break this down. But let's go ahead and touch on a few of the things he's talking about. So he's talking about the little hats, right? And when he talks about this, I'm thinking more and more about like a behavior that I see that exists within the liberal or leftist mindset. And when I say that, it's not so much that I'm being political. It's just so that you have a frame of reference for what the hell I'm talking about, right? And what I see with people who are like real liberal and leftist thinking is that they feel as though they engage in the behavior or feeling as though it's their job to control what you say and think, right? And telling someone what's okay to think and what's okay to say. And then because I mean, listen, that's kind of gotten out of hand in this country. And and we never really think about like where it comes from. So more and more, and I think I've heard Angry Man break this down a lot. And he pointed out the fact that on the left side, right? People who are Democrats, stuff like that. At the very top, the elite Democrats, right? It is their interest to make sure that those below them stay broke, stay poor, and don't really get any power, right? Because leftist people they encourage the most importantly encourage men to think that it's bad to be a man. It's bad to be assertive. Okay, it's bad to know what you want. It's bad to be intolerant of bullshit. It's bad to have the basically the expression of testosterone, the expression of I will knock you the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? The expression of nah, I said what I said. Liberal people want men to basically, it's like you want the roles to be reversed. And again, like no family works that way. Even when you look at what you see on TV, what you see in movies, and what's communicated in movies, they let the dude who plays the Flash, like Robert Downey Jr., get these chances, right? And they got to go on and do franchises and live it up. But someone like Jonathan Majors, now he got married Megan Good. I saw somebody was making a video about using his picture, talking about he's using you. Fam, Megan Good is over 40 years old. What are you talking? You using her for what? What are you using her for? Not that they genuinely are for what? They both benefit. Listen, they both get photo ops, and people are talking about Megan Good because of Jonathan Majors, and vice versa. I think they probably really like each other, but at the end of the day, fam, she up there. I don't know what you're talking about. Use her for what? And another thing that exists, that I see going on with people who lean more to the left and is liberal, is that they think that it's acceptable that when they don't like your opinion or they feel as though rather than having a direct conversation with you and trying to understand you, there's this I don't say being willfully ignorant, but I guess maybe willfully resistant towards actually having real empathy. It's like there's no empathy in the Democratic Party at this point. For the most part, if you don't believe in these certain things, if you don't believe in women and kids being able to do whatever they want, and the fact that men should always have a limiter on their assertiveness, on their autonomy and everything, and that testosterone expression needs to be limited. But you know what happens? You feminize your own men to the point where they're not really men and they're not activated. Listen, I never thought I would be a person who people look up to. Let me tell you something. Wherever I'm at, wherever niggas know me at, I get hella respect, get hella love. People really rock with your boy, wherever I'm at. If you're not rocking with me, just because you're a hater. And that's a fact. Go argue with your mama and grandma. You understand? But men become activated by being allowed to be, not being allowed to be men. No one needs to, and it's nothing to that leftists want men to think that you have to be allowed to be a man. You hear this in black relationships. Well, if you let the man lead, women don't let you do shit. Outside of what goes on with her body and her resources and things that belong to her, she don't let you do nothing. Do you let her be pretty? Do you let her be fat? Do you know she's in control of her own body and who she is? But men in general, you know what I'm saying, have been taught that being a man sucks. Like, for example, right? I remember with my ex, I think I mentioned like the boys. I was talking about her sons. I said, they need to learn some karate or learn karate or boxing and whatnot. And she didn't necessarily say, "Oh, I don't want them to learn." She kind of did say, "I didn't want them learning that." And at one point in the conversation, like she kind of laughed and said, "Well, I didn't want them learning karate because I thought they would go around doing karate on people." And this is why we are where we are now, especially with black folks, because no one's more liberal, meaning me in terms of trying to knock down all boundaries, all norms, all societal norms. This is why you can't be in charge. You think that these women won't even make sure that their sons can defend themselves. They don't make sure that their sons have any serious skills. And it makes us into unserious people. And I'm going to go off on a tangent and whatnot. It makes us into unserious people. So that's what I'm speaking to is like I'm really seeing like this nefarious or this negative impact that little hats have had on people of color in particular, because again, they're the ones that control the media. They have a big hand in what artist pops, right? Who don't pop, who don't get no budget. In all aspects of even with movies and entertainment and whatnot. A lot of times it's a Jewish person behind that or involved with that. And to a certain degree, I do kind of feel like Jewish people understand how to make money. So to a certain degree, that kind of had to happen, because if not for Jewish people knowing how to make money from music and entertainment and stuff like that, then Black people, I'm not saying we wouldn't have learned, but we know how to run record labels and do certain kind of shit because the hell? I never tried to pay y'all. What are you talking about? Facebook be tripping. But anywho, so I actually, before we get to that next point, because it kind of feeds into what I saw earlier, right? And I saw this clip with Chappelle Roan, and the reason why it's important to share this, and I'm gonna share a few other ones real quick before we get back to the Kanye joint, is that these are the images I'm saying that the left and media want. What they want. I'm sorry, the messages, right? This is what they want young women to hear. Basically, hey, listen, the way to have a good life is to be a straight up hoe when you're younger. Because you gotta think about what goes on. That's the same as telling a young man, shit, you can go to college any time in your life. What you going to college now for? You can go to college when you're 40 years old. But when is the best time to go to the military, go to college, go to school, go to trade school? When you're young and you don't have no kids, you have less responsibility, you can focus only on that. Of course, you can always go to school, but timing is everything. And if they don't go to school or get some kind of trade and whatnot, what goes on? A lot of time wasting. And again, I can make an argument, right? But that will be incorrect. The best strategy for young people is to spend years 18 to 25 getting some kind of education. You should be done with the first leg of your education by the time it's between 22 and 25. I was 25, what I'm saying, when I graduated from college, right? I could have done it faster, but I had no drive. I had no vision. You understand? But more importantly, I think that in the coming years, I don't know. I'm just saying, I think more people are starting to find this kind of stuff offensive. Because what you kind of see, and this is can you call it gaslighting? There's this thing that you see going with women, especially modern women, where they talk about something that's happening, right? And they try to link two things together, right? So she says extremely extreme. I think this is really negative. And I think it was actually kind of fucked up, to be honest with you, what she's saying. All right, but let's go ahead and play it.
Do that. I'm the oldest of 4. My mom had me at 23. All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I don't know anyone. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has children at this age. I have like a 1-year-old, like 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has like light in their eyes, anyone who has slept.
This is not looking too good.
I'm like, why did my parents do that? I'm the oldest of 4. My mom had me at 23. All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I don't know anyone. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has children at this age. I have like a 1-year-old, like 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has like light in their eyes.
So light in their eyes. Someone will watch a video like that, right, and not question, maybe not question who the hell you talking about. And what exactly, like, you know what I'm saying? Because these are, let me tell you why it's controversial. Let me tell you why it strikes a chord. What it is, it feeds into the narrative that is a negative thing for women to give anything, to sacrifice anything. Don't get me wrong. Like my man who wrote the the comment, the caption, he says she's only 27 years old. We got to stop that shit. 27. Once you're past 18, you are an adult. A woman does not have forever. Stop encouraging women to meet a man when she's old. But have sex and have one night stands and have situationships all throughout her 20s when she's at her best. Like I always point this out again. I can always I saw my best friend the other day, or one of my best friends the other day. I've known since he was 13 years old. I know he's older. I know he looks older, but I can still see the same young man. I can still he doesn't look. Looks different to me, of course, but he doesn't. It's not like, oh my God, like I can still see that same kid. You know what I'm saying? My son's mother, I knew her when she was 17, so I can still see the young woman in her, and also I knew her at her prime. All right, I was around her at her prime, so I kind of always see that. Or like my mother and my aunt, I can remember them as young women because my mother's not that much older than me. My mother 15 years apart, and my aunt are 12 years apart. So I can remember them as young women. You know what I mean? So I can see that. Whereas my brother and sister always known them as grown people. So like they see the adult version of them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. People like that, you gotta realize that's not by mistake. And you always seeing people who have basically these El Gibbet rainbow type mentalities when it comes to family, where it's like at the end of the day, sacrifice. And this is something I've been picking up on in terms of like how queer people express themselves and what they think is important, and it takes a lot of it. I don't know if it's intentional all the time, but it's mostly like everything is always it revolves around like basically pleasure, self-indulgence, and satisfaction, and which also leads to that degenerate behavior where everything is about sex. I forget what was the name of this movie. It was a trailer that came out a year or two ago, and it was like supposed to be like a romantic comedy type movie, but with a primarily like all like queer gay cast. When I tell you that trailer had so many like this like intense sexual innuendos, like yo. There was like a joke where the with little girl, I think one of them was a straight couple and whatnot, and you hear the little girl say, "Daddy's a power bottom." Do y'all know what bottom means? You know what it means for a child to say bottom? I didn't know what a bottom was until I was in my 20s. I had to realize I'm like, that's not funny. It's not cute. And those are the kind of things that, like, those are the kind of images and messages that, it's like that they want you to see. Pardon me. Right? And I think I had one more clip I wanted to show real quick. And it just adds up to the women being out of control and the men basically being made to lie dormant. It's like you're not really a man, right? And again, you got to ask yourself, who benefits from the men thinking this way? You know what I'm saying? Because again, I don't know. It always bothers me the fact that that women don't think about that. They don't think about, well, how can a man be strong if we raise them to think like women and be soft, have more than just a heart for women, but basically, think like a slave when it comes to women. Because for the most part, before the red pill, before this whole like all this shit online with red pill and stuff like that, women, listen, the gaslighting ain't gonna work no more. It ain't got to where men love women to the point where men have even tolerated women gaslighting them. Basically, have these conversations where you're trying to convince the man that he's doing something wrong or that he's the problem, or rather than actually having a conversation and engaging and trying to come to a mutual understanding. Okay, and this is what it results in. I mean, and again, we seeing more and more sisters in the news for doing like actual crimes. Check this out.
Days ago, 3 women from Rochester, New York, were here in Chicago to celebrate a birthday and left behind one heck of a surprise. They decided to dine and dash after greasing their fingers on chicken wings, eating Alfredo, and washing it all down with flights of drinks.
Yo, not flights of drinks, flights. Goodness gracious. Let's read this drawing right here. 3 women dined and dashed at a Chicago restaurant after devouring. So that means they were stuffing their faces with chicken wings and Alfredo and then brag about it on social media. They think they're invincible. And I ain't talking about the comic book.
Now you see them and now you don't. We've blurred the video because the trio hasn't been charged yet. But you can't miss that distinctive blue wig and the mask.
Oh, you listen, you can't be moving like that with a blue wig. You cannot be dying and dashing. Hold on. Can you see me? Hold on. No. As I'm saying, that liberal mindset, you think you can do what you want to do. That's why, listen, Angry Man made a really good point about when you look into a crowd or a rally for Democrats and a rally for Republicans. If you look out in a crowd of Democrats, you're going to see a lot of green and blue hair, a lot of fat people, a lot of fat, you know what I'm saying? It's unattractive people. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's like, who wants you to think that you can live this way? I know how crazy I look walking around with these basically these stripper colors. Like I be seeing young girls walking around with light pink hair. That shit looks stupid. You can't get no job. I wouldn't want you working nowhere with me with them stupid colors in your hair. Like all these different things, you know what I'm saying? That y'all think is cool. The poo shiesty shit with these young boys. I see niggas walking around with their hands in their waistband as if they don't have a string for their sweatpants. Is that a fashion statement? Does that mean that you've lost the strings of the sweatpants? Are you holding the sweatpants up? I've seen niggas walking around doing this. Just walking around like with their fingertips. I thought the nigga had a gun or something like that. That's a thing I seen niggas do. And like I'm like, that's some crackhead shit. Like that liberal mindset, like will really get you into thinking that it doesn't matter how you sound or how you look. It don't matter. So what if you sound ridiculous? So what if you trip just lying to yourself? It don't matter. And it leads to this reckless behavior. That's a crime. You are dining in that. Like what? Like fam, y'all didn't have to come eat there. You had to come eat there.
Massive tab they left behind.
The server went to the table. They asked for the ticket to be split. She left from this table behind me to a few steps away, clicked the button. As she left, they got up one at a time and walked out.
3 days ago, the 3 women from Rochester, New York visited Soul Vibes in the Near North neighborhood to celebrate a birthday and left behind a surprise, an unpaid tab of over $200.
And now, mind you, this it's a black-owned establishment. And why we keep telling y'all, women's empowerment is a myth. Women do not ride with each other. They're not friends. They don't care. That's why, like, when you hear them talk about that most educated and the whole boss chick myth and stuff like that, fam, y'all listen. When y'all do have something, you don't support it because more than anything, what it adds up to, this media influence from the small hats and whatnot, it leads to groups, basically a lot of other groups of people becoming unserious people to the point where you don't take anything serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and the reason why they also got caught was the fact that I guess it's a social media poster. That's crazy. They said, how would you brag about being broke on social media?
They actually ran out the door and ran and hid behind a service vehicle that was in traffic.
They decided to dine and dash after.
So they almost got hit by a car.
Devouring chicken wings, Alfredo, and washing it all down with flights of drinks.
Devouring is crazy.
It's not violent, but it's a crime, and it affects us, and it affects our bottom dollar, and it affects our team members.
They were spotted on surveillance, leaving one by one within 30 seconds of the server stepping away. They also forgot that they signed up on the wait list before being seated, including their name and phone number. And to add insult to injury, they posted this onto social media, thanking the restaurant for the free.
Said, thanks for the free food. That's crazy. That is diabolical. They wrote, thanks for the free food, bitch. Oh my God.
Food while laughing at waitstaff like Chloe Jackson.
I'm here 3 days a week.
Their greedy crime comes with a much heavier cost.
Some places do make the servers come out and pay for those bills, but Fab and Soul Vibes here, they don't make us pay for it. Well, that's really.
Should be make you pay for the bill. How do you make you pay for the bill? Somebody die and dash on you. What? Well, like how would you prevent that? What? That sounds crazy.
Grateful because 300, 400 could really break our bank for that day.
Sadly, Dine and Dash incidents are on the rise. The owners run 2 Soul Vibes locations and 3 I Can't Believe It's Not Meat restaurants. And in the last 6 months, they've seen an uptick in these type of incidents. These are just a few devouring chicken wings out of the incidents they've recorded.
It's an industry of pennies and nickels. So when you get these dine and dash incidences, you know what I mean? You know, the consumer or the people that are doing this dine and dash might think, oh, it's just $100. Yeah, but it's hurting the bottom line.
Now, a police report was made. Chicago police are now investigating. If charged, the suspects could face a Class A misdemeanor for theft of services under the amount of $500.
And also that listen, the liberal influence also encourages women to think more like children. This is some kid shit. This is something that a kid would do and get themselves caught up in. They didn't even think about the fact that these people have my information. I made a reservation online. You heard what they said, right? They have at least one of their full name and numbers to contact you and give to the police, right? But not only that, right? It again, the liberal mindset also leads you to feeling like there is no right from wrong. Everything is okay. If this is what I feel like doing, then that's okay. Like you feel as though I can come to really anywhere. No one put a gun to your head and said you have to go out tonight and get some wings and get this food. The economy is getting rough and winter is here. They already listen. Like Kevin Samuels predicted this a couple of years ago about how rough it was going to get for women. So you've seen an uptick in more, especially black women, are basically with criminal activity, right? Evictions on the rise, right? And it's like, it's just a bad situation all around. And it's not an anomaly. It's not a one-off. This is probably happening all over the nation. Young women going out and broke niggas, you know what I mean? Because you saw that big girl, so you already know that nigga broke. You saw her shape, right? So we had on. That's what he had on to go out to eat. All right, and you know, nasty work. But overall, what I'm saying is, the liberal mindset gets you into thinking that my presentation don't matter. How I show up in the world does not matter. The only thing that matters is how I feel. I feel like stealing, so I mean, listen, this is my reason. Because for the most part, under the liberal mindset, as long as I got a reason, it's all good. Like when women break up their families, it's gotten to a point now where no one ever questions or says, "Damn, what about the kids? What about the kids?" That is the most damaging thing to your psyche for your parents to not be together, especially if you were born with them together and you used to see them together in a relationship. That is devastating. And you can really hear women talk about the shit. They never seem to have empathy for them kids. It's never like, yeah, you know, little man, you know, little Tyrone is taking it hard. It's not even a mention. And you know why? Let me tell you something else. When women don't talk about certain things, it's because they know that if I acknowledge this, I have to acknowledge these other things, which leads me to accountability. So therefore, they'll avoid certain conversations or just act like they don't see it because they know that they know what comes with it. You understand? So we're gonna play a little more of the gay interview and everything, man. I just wanted to make sure I gave y'all something, man. I'm like, damn, I wanted to do a little more, but I've been working so hard, bro. I'm trying to decompress from this battle, and I get right back into writing more battle raps. I got another battle coming that I don't know how I got into, but anywho, let's go ahead and play this real quick.
and including the key.
And then when he started talking like that, right? Like I'm saying, when they start putting like terms and words together, that doesn't make that much sense. Like it's when they start talking in extreme. When he says pussy ass, like he's referring to himself, pussy ass faggot ass nigga, and it's like it started to sound we getting it's getting a little weird. You understand? I actually know it's getting a little late, man. But we'll leave with this. That's what I'm saying. We got to go ahead and break this drawing down, but I want to go ahead and expand on what he's talking about in terms of what is valid, right? So what he's saying is that because what he's speaking to, and I think one of the main gripes that he has in terms of the kids is he's speaking to basically people being able to put his daughter on albums. Mind you, he's in the music industry. He's Kanye West. Could you imagine someone putting Blue Ivy on records and on songs and whatnot, and somehow Jay doesn't have a say so in it, right? Whenever men cannot control things that are supposed to be in their like domain and stuff like that, that will drive men insane. Men literally cannot take that. So what he feels is that that people are trying to influence his children. It's another thing too. Men have to be able to influence their kids and be able to raise them and raise them according to what their vision is. That's a part of being a father. And a few years ago, he went viral for doing a video and posting that his daughter was having a birthday party and he was not told where it is. And what he said was, the reason why he's speaking up is because I'm being alienated from my child, and you're imprinting on her mind that I wasn't there for her. And again, that's legit. This man, since him and Kim have not been together, he has been fighting to be in these kids' lives. Fam, listen, the fact that she was banging Pete Davidson, how unserious can you get? And again, and that may be one of the greatest examples of like what modern women have to look at when it comes to relationships, because modern women in general don't take marriage seriously. And don't get me wrong, Kanye is a nutcase. So I mean, like honestly, to a certain degree, in this case, I can kind of understand how they might want to be in divorce. I mean, he is bipolar. He is actually mentally ill to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? So in his case, yeah. But and again, I'm not there. I'm not in it. So we don't know what conversations go on and whatnot. But this goes on all day, every day throughout America, where men, as soon as you're not in the household with your kids, your influence, your power, your just everything is lessened. In my situation, I see my son all the time. I see him on pretty much half the week. Sometimes I see him more than that. And I want him to start being with me more because he's getting bigger and he has to be with his dad, But and I'm like, damn, I need to always be around him so I can My son's on the spectrum. My son's very autistic, but my son has continuously developed at a steady rate. And I know that he would be more developed, you know what I'm saying, if he was with me all the time. Because I will be able to kind of, because again, when the dad's always around, you're able to stop certain behaviors. The best thing that ever happened to me was my dad come to get me, and my dad come to have me live with him when I was 12 years old. That was the best thing for me, being around my dad. And my dad worked a lot, and he was a very young man and stuff like that. But it still, to this day, had a very positive impact on me. And I was just thinking about, damn, about being in the right place at the right time. My dad wasn't always around me like that. There was times where I wouldn't see my dad for a whole year. You know what I'm saying? I would never see my father. Never, just about. You know what I mean? And usually when that goes on, that means that you're not going to have a relationship. And, and I got to give it to my dad that since I was 12, my dad's consistently been in my life, you know what I mean, and kept up with me and stuff like that, and tried to give me more than what he had. And I always think about that, and I talk to my brothers about that. Like, dad didn't try to give you way more than he ever got from anyone. All right, my father is from, again, before my generation and generation after have been given the most resources than any other generation, and have the most opportunities than any other generation. You know what I mean? So we'll end with this, man. Kanye actually been doing this for a long time. Whenever there's an album out, this man knows how to go viral. Y'all knows that since social media been social media, Kanye has remained relevant. He made a really good point about it. He said, listen, he is still here. Not only that, Kanye has managed to become a billionaire. I don't know if he's still. Hey, Google, is Kanye West still a billionaire?
The question of Kanye West's billionaire status is currently a point of contention. Here's a breakdown of the situation. Conflicting reports. Kanye West himself, through information he shared from Eaton Venture Services, claims his net worth is $2.77 billion. However, Forbes has maintained a significantly lower estimate, placing his net worth around $400 million. Factors influencing his net worth. His Yeezy brand and music catalog are key components of his wealth. The loss of partnerships with major brands like Adidas in 2022 significantly impacted his financial standing.
Yeah, so I believe the stocks that he had in Adidas is what basically it was is what it was valued at, is what gave him the billionaire status. But either way, $400 million net worth, even if that's where he's at, or the fact that he was a billionaire, my man has beat the game. He really has. But since the George Bush don't care about black people moment years ago in 2005, this man has been managing to go viral and stay in the news, and he has always been controversial, and actually has always known what to say and what to do. You know what I mean? So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. So this is just part one of this little breakdown we're gonna do on Beloved and whatnot. So so I can give you a little more energy and everything. So again, we're just doing a simple reaction. I'm gonna go ahead and watch it again, and I'm gonna come back with some more thoughts, man. So for the meantime, peace. Love.